Welcome to Beers and Beers. Welcome to Beers and Beers with Matt.
I'm so very, very happy. Sun is out and I feel something. I'm so very, very happy. Whoa, whoa. I'm so very, very happy. Sun is out and I feel something. I'm so very, very happy. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Matt, and this is another edition of Beers and Beards with Matt. Sans the mustache, it's gone, but I'm just growing the beard back right now, so it's a work in progress. Enough about beards though, more about beers. And tonight I got a brewery that I don't think I've done a review of any other beers yet. This is a Harpoon brewery from the same part of the country, in fact the same town as Samuel Adams. This is more of a crafty beer brewery as opposed to Sam Adams, which is far more of a macro brewery that's pretending to be a micro brewery. Now this is part of their 100 barrel series, and if you're not familiar with the 100 barrel series, every year, every few months, they put out a new beer that's produced in 100 barrels, and that's it. It's a limited edition. This is the 33rd edition. This one is a wet hop ale. Now, wet hops are just fresher hops. They're hops that are just pretty much plucked and then used in the brewing, as opposed to regular hops or pellet hops that are basically dried out for use later on and stuff like that. This is the 33rd. I believe the 34th will be a Dunkel beer, I believe. And the first one that they ever did was an oatmeal stout, I believe. So, wet hop ale. It's going to be an IPA, pretty much what it's going to be. Now, just pop this bad boy open while I talk, so I don't get sidetracked here. Now, this beer itself is 6.7% alcohol by volume, and the IBUs, which are listed on the bottle, are... I'm a dumbass. I forgot to charge the battery, so it died on me halfway through my explanation of the beer. Now, once again, this is the Harpoon 100 Barrel Series, the wet hop ale. What I was about to say before I was so rudely interrupted by my own incompetence was that the alcohol by volume 6.7, IBUs are 38, so relatively low, in my opinion. And every single beer that they do these sessions for, it's an actual brewer who thinks of the idea. And this one was by Ray Dobbins. Just a brewer at Harpoon thought of the idea to brew this ale. Now, I'm using my new glass that I just got. This is from Highland. It's from Highland Brewery. It's kind of an etched glass logo, which I think is pretty badass. I think it's pretty cool. Highland's a brewery in North Carolina. And I will be doing plenty of Highland Brewing reviews pretty soon, because I got a shit ton of Highland beer in the refrigerator from my parents. So I'll be doing a lot of those. Alright, man, that's a nice head on it. Probably about 2 good fingers, maybe 3 if you got small ones. Pretty amber-esque. You can see through it pretty well. I could pretty much see my camera through here. Not a lot of carbonation or anything like that. Pretty resiny, pretty hoppy smell to it. And without further ado, cheers to everybody out there. Ooh, definitely a hoppy beer, but it's fresh. It's a fresh, kick in the mouth a little bit. Not that you like to be kicked in the mouth, but a fresh hop kick in the mouth. Beer is pretty resiny. Doesn't smell too dank or anything like that, though. Fresh. I mean, it's pleasing. It's a full hop finish all the way through. Doesn't really cut any corners. This is an IPA. Something's in my beer. Oh, don't you hate that? This is a huge bomber, so I'm only going to finish probably one glass, or what I poured in here and everything like that. So, watching the football game right now. We got the Cowboys about to blow it against the, or they pretty much did blow it against the Eagles. pretty good beer. I mean, it's a nice, fresh, hoppy beer. You know, pretty floral. Like I said, it is resinous. I don't know, it's got a little smoky taste. It's kind of a smoky part to it also. And a pretty good beer all the way around. I mean, if you like IPAs, pretty smooth IPA. It comes in at close to 7%, so it does have that slight alcohol bite to it. But it's really not that overpowering. I mean, if you're a hophead and you like hoppy beers, you would probably like this beer. I mean, and considering, you know, this is a beer that's kind of close to Sam Adams, I don't want to compare it to like maybe the Sam Adams Boston Lager. But it does have some similarities to the Boston Lager slightly. I don't know if they're kind of copying off of one another in terms of their hop usage and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. They have some good information on like the different sessions that they've done. Like I said, this is the 33rd, and they either have the 34th coming out or it's already out already. And it is a dunkel that they're doing, so like a nice wintry brown, German type of beer. John Kitten escaped. First down. Well, Cowboys are fighting. I like the floralness of this beer. It's actually very pleasant. But me, considering I'm not a huge hophead or anything like that, you know, it's not, you know, not my favorite beer, but for an IPA, it's pretty nice, and it's got a lot of good head on it. I mean, you see the hoppiness where it's coming from and everything like that. There isn't a lot of wasn't a lot of lacing in it or anything like that when I got done drinking that first part. So, but I mean, overall, pretty good beer, and I will give my review on this, or my thumbs up, my thumbs test. Stay. Okay, I want the beer full. I'm gonna give this beer from an IPA standpoint, definitely give it a thumbs up. Nice floral, fresh IPA. Even though it doesn't say IPA on it, if it's a wet hop ale, I would call it. You know, if anything, it's an American pale ale. You know, at worst, not an Indian pale ale. So you know, you are getting those American. I mean, the thing about Harpoon too, like they do brew a lot. They get a lot of their ingredients either from Boston or around Boston. So it is more of an American IPA than anything else. Not as strong though, as a standard APA. From a beginner's standpoint, from a beer, I mean, it was. Try something lighter at first. I mean, if you're able to find some of these other 100 barrel series from Harpoon, they got a lot of good stuff, and you have 3 or 32 other beers to pick from outside of this one. So why not give it a try to see if you can find them? I don't know if you'd be lucky to find them anymore, because they're not brewing it anymore. So that's aside from the point. But other than that, from an EPA standpoint, thumbs up. From a beginner's standpoint, you may want to get something a little lighter, because it is pretty hoppy, even though the IBUs are low, which is kind of confusing. But that's about it. So it's a mixed bag. I'm indecisive on this one. I thought it was a pretty pleasant beer, just because I've grown I'm accustomed to it, to APAs and IPAs now, those hoppy beers. So that's about it. So thanks for joining me, lampside, for another beer review. And I will see you guys later on. So take it easy and have a good evening. See you later.